So today I want to delve into the nature of the energy of the hero and how it can work for us or against us. Welcome to Real Life and Archetypes. My name is Marina, and this is a place of rest from the overstimulation of our time. So welcome home. Today I want to go a little bit deeper into the hero archetype and why it is so crucial for us. I want to talk about the concept of courage. So just to begin at the original point here, the hero archetype is really about energy. It is the pure energy that wants to animate us and to remind us that we have a higher purpose in life. And of course, it is the totality of our energy that is in that archetype. So think about how so much energy needs to be concentrated in one archetype. So if we don't give it the right direction, and the concept of direction, which is, a sense of purpose, something that animate us towards some kind of goal that we want to accomplish, or just to have a sense of purpose, is what we need to have and give to the hero so that the hero can engage all of its energies. The energies of the hero are immense. So let me just start with this. I just want to show you, because sometimes I just need to show you so that you can understand, because I don't have words. The seed. So look at the seed, because a hero is about, in terms of a visual and a larger concept, it's about a seed inside of us that needs to become all that it can be, and also all that it's supposed to be. So if you have the seed of an apple tree, you need to become the apple tree. And this is, let me just go here. I want to show you something. The statement of the hero is that of separation, individuality, initiative, inspiration. What does that mean? The hero needs to become all it can be, and it has a huge obstacle and a battle against the existing world. Why? Because the world will have defined our path in life and the kind of person that we're supposed to become. So the concept of battle, and this is important because battle means that there's a war, the hero wins. Why does the hero need to win, and what exactly? The war is really about the definition of the world. The world already exists. We're born into it. So how are we going to define ourselves? And is it against our own nature, or is it respecting the nature of the self? So this thing that wants to emerge, that is what this hero archetype is all about. And again, let me just bring you back to the seed that is coming up, and just notice how at stages it's going to burst open as it grows, and how the original seed is split open. And now I want you to go to that one over there, because actually inside of us, this energy that is going to help us grow, and it's going in that direction of becoming what you're supposed to be, it's actually fire inside of us. So it can go sideways, okay? And why is that? Because think about it in terms of there's a nature inside of us, there's a potential inside of us, and it needs to really become all that it can be. But the world is against us. The world is telling us who we're supposed to be, what we're supposed to do. And there's another component to that, which is the world has a lot of temptation. So this is an interesting one. I want to go to the Divine Comedy, because apparently I'm obsessed with the Divine Comedy. And the Divine Comedy, which is this amazing masterpiece, has a concept of courage as the opposite of violence. If you think about the volcano, let me just put the volcano here. If the energy that is inside of us, that is supposed to become what it's supposed to become, is not oriented in a proper way, and one of the ways that we become deviated from the path is because of temptations on earth that are going to say, just look there. This is what you need to strive for and pursue. So the Divine Comedy states that in hell there are different kinds of violence against others, against the self, against God, which is the spirit. And this is so relevant. Now, there are words that I can't use on YouTube, but in terms of violence against others, and of course, there's, a big scale of things, you can imagine what the worst kind of violence against others can be, and also against the self. I can't even say the word because YouTube will block it. But this is so appropriate. Violence against God. This is an interesting one because the highest state of the hero, and let me just look for one of my favorite. Let me go to this quote. I love this quote. This is really the state of the hero. Listen to this. When you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break their bonds. Think about the seed breaking the bond. Your mind transcends limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Listen, everything that relates to the hero always feels and sounds grandiose because, in fact, really living the life in terms of what it is that you feel that you really want to do is an extraordinary deed. And that's why all of those concepts, they sound grandiose. But that's because the reality of everyday life is that as we want to exist, we have so much against us. And what I want to really talk about in terms of courage, and I mean, just look at all of the words underlined there. It sounds super big. The biggest word here is actually inspired, that when you're inspired, you are really in the best state for the hero. But the concept of violence, it is because of all that energy that we have. And if it's not in the right direction, things are going to go sideways. And particularly, one of the most important concepts for the hero is the world. The hero against the world. When we talk about symbols and archetypes and what they mean, there's like a concept, and you can apply the story to your own life. Let me just go to this quote by Mr. Albert Einstein. The most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or hostile universe. Totally the hero archetype. At any given moment, we come back to the present because the primary energy that animates us is the hero. So is the hero making a choice of reacting to circumstances and then, not having a state of inspiration? You're just going to react with a lot of force, negative force, which can become some form of violence or just negative expression. It's about, the negative versus the positive. We make a decision at any given moment. This is in spirituality. We are taught something very important, which is mindfulness. At any given moment, you bring yourself back to the present and you can choose. This is, it can be difficult to accept that, but it is so true. We make a choice how we react to our circumstances. Remember that from the perspective of a weak hero archetype, we will look at the world as being, this place that needs to be conquered and dominated. So we need to, an expenditure of enormous energy. And if you're not in a positive state, the world is going to end up being something negative. And this is a decision that we can make at any given time. I love this quote. It's so important. So going back to the concept of violence, if we make the choice of existing in the world in a negative way, and it is a choice, then we will end up using our energy and releasing on our energy in negative ways. And in fact, very forcefully. And by the way, one of the ultimate form of doing that is against the self. And this is an expression of when we don't feel that we have the energy to really exist in the world. Now, life becomes way too much for the self. So this is important to understand. There are phases of life that will confront us with the need to change and transform, and that belongs to another archetype. This is totally linked to the hero as well. And the concept of destruction and death has another kind of meaning that is very interesting. I will speak of that. But violence against the self and against others, it's going to be, competition. We create enemies because we don't have a sense of direction ourselves, or we are striving for things that will always bring us to a state of, fighting everyone, of activism. There's always an injustice. There's always something wrong. It's a negative mindset of the hero. It's so necessary to understand that. So the violence against others, against the self, and against God. God, okay, whether you're religious or not, you can change God for the spirit. And remember, let me just show you what is the best state of the hero. This is the hero's best state of being, okay? Inspired. Let me just stop there. Inspired, in spirit. Okay, so to be in spirit is to be really aligned with that seed inside of you. So you feel that energy of what you're supposed to become, and that is going to give a direction about the things that you want to do in life. This original point, the first thing, that hero is the one that is saying, hey, you need to go there because this is really your spirit and it's your nature. And by the way, nature is another thing that I will explore because it relates completely to how we relate to money. Very important subject. If we don't respond to the call of the hero, we will not be in a natural state, in our natural element, and we will struggle and we will be in a state of lack. So this is completely related to the hero. The hero is the originator of everything. You make your intention, you make a statement of your being, and you feel inspired, motivated towards, becoming who you're supposed to be. So if you respond to that call to adventure, remember in the hero structure, you have a direction, you're animated, and you're propelled into action and particularly activity that you love. You become stronger and more capable because you push yourself naturally. Of course, if you love what you do, that's what happens. You become more assertive, more confident, because you're more positive. This is important. You are more inspiring to others. You're more positive, okay? You're more inspiring to others, and therefore you make the world work for you. So this is all about energy. We're here in that state of being. Let me just talking about making the world work for you. Look at this. The most important decision, this is what Einstein said, we decide whether we live in a friendly or hostile universe. So we make the world work for us, or we create an enemy in the entire world, and we are in conflict again and again. The battle of the hero, the real battle, is within the self. This is what it's all about. Let me go back to this amazing state of being of the hero. Becoming stronger. Look at how this force of your energy is supposed to be, in the positive side. And if you're in the positive instead of the negative, you're the seed becoming all that you can be instead of the volcano wreaking havoc and creating collateral damage. What are the issues of the hero? Imposter syndrome. This belongs to the hero archetype. Yes, because what? Why? Because if you don't respond to that call to the adventure of really going in the direction of this emerging nature that wants to, be released, well, you're going to be false anyway. It's going to be a false identity. And Jesus Christ, when you get older, you really feel that. So you're an imposter, a fraud. You're not enough. You're fighting. You're negative. You're frustrated, angry, fearful, tired, in conflict with the world. And actually, it's in conflict with yourself. It's all about the energy that we release, positive, which is about love for this call to this adventure, to really go and respond to what your true nature is and to face the challenges of life. Let me just go back to, did I write this here? Yes. Okay, so in the Divine Comedy, we spoke of the violence, and Dante refers to cowardice as a form of weakness that often leads to sinful and violent actions. Now, listen, I'm giving you a reference to a classic that was written, was it the 13th century? I think the context of what Dante wrote was political, okay? But I'm taking this to try to understand the energy of the hero. A form of moral weakness, well, it can be extended to morality because it is actually linked to the hero as well. Remember, the hero is at the origin of everything. But let's say cowardice, a form of weakness. Because we have a weakness, of course, we will be more susceptible to be tempted by the things of the world. Temptation and sin, those are very religious terms. For some people, it may sound a little too much. But again, these are symbols. It's about how the world will have existing things that already exist, that will become a reference for who we're supposed to become, what kind of things we're supposed to strive for. Remember that the hero is supposed to really look at the self and say, hey, does this really come from me, or has the world decided for me what I should do? This is what it's about. The references of the world become this temptation. And of course, it can go, from the smallest expression to the most deviated expression. It's about the desires that are generated. And if we take references from the world, we will find ourselves entrapped. This is another archetype. It's amazing. Anyway, bravery is a willingness to confront evil and temptation, and it's really about facing the challenges of life. And the big challenge of the hero is to live the life according to what comes from your true self, your spirit, again, the highest form of expression of the self. And when you're in that state, you make the world work for you, okay? So this is what the hero is about. And the true meaning of courage is really about the conquest of the self to become the truest version of yourself and be a force for good in the world. This is what the hero wants you to do. And as I say goodbye, I think I will explore the next time. I want to explore, the nature and how it affects our experience of lack, money, and more importantly, our eros, our ability to have some pleasure and gratification in the world. This is so important. Again, if we're not in that pure state, we will encounter issues in that area. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.